Hi, I'm Zach Doran with OADA, and today Tim Doran, our president, is here with me to talk a little bit about the state budget. Every 2 years, our industry seems to find itself in the crosshairs of the state budget debate, and this year was no different.
Zach, that's absolutely correct. We've been through a 6-month battle with the Ohio budget. Just to give you a framework of the size, the state budget that we currently operate under in the state of Ohio is $63 billion. The new enacted budget in the state of Ohio will be $72 billion. So there's fully a 15% increase in the budget.
From where we started to where we finished was quite a bit different.
The budget as proposed by the administration called for a partial income tax reduction, which we liked. Unfortunately, that budget also called for 5 things that we didn't like. Number 1 was an increase in the sales tax. Number 2 was elimination of 50% of the sales tax on the money difference credit to consumers. Number 3 was a 23% increase in the commercial activity tax, the CAT tax. Number 4 was the elimination of almost all of the dealers' vendor discount that dealers receive for collecting the tax for the state and remitting it to the state. And number 5 was an increase of expanding the sales tax to things like legal services, accounting fees, advertising, and a number of other items. That would have had a really negative impact. All 5 would have related to a very negative impact to dealers.
That impact that you talked about is a little bit, it looks about like $100,000 a year in an increased tax liability to the average dealer.
To the average dealer, with some dealers being larger that would have had even larger increases, upward and approaching $750,000.
The Ohio House of Representatives and the Ohio Senate were both really strong for us.
Absolutely, and we commend the Ohio House because they took all of those 5 negative provisions out of the bill. And we applaud the Ohio Senate because they kept them out of the bill in the legislation that was forwarded to the governor. So we ended up with none of those 5 provisions in the bill. Still a smaller but a income tax reduction to dealers, and also a income tax cut for the businesses on the first $250,000 of income tax that would be due. So we ended up with a very good bill that saves dealers a lot of money and allows us to go forward.
Our grassroots, as always, were really important in this process, and I think it's worth noting to obviously say thank you to those dealers who have contributed to DEEC and DIG as well, obviously, and then also who have hosted their legislators in their stores.
Right. As you know, Zach, with our whole legislative team, yourself, Joe Cannon, and myself being involved in this process, this was a great victory for the dealers with this budget. But I leave you with 3 items that I think each dealer should seriously consider, and the 3 things that we would like to see you do going forward. Number 1, support Dealer Investment Group, our state political action committee. Number 2, support Dealers Election Action Committee, which is our federal political action committee. And number 3, very importantly, get your legislators into the dealership so that they can see that we are real businesses paying real taxes with real employees, and those that are those that see our investment are less likely to pass legislation that gives away our business.
Thanks for your time today. All the dealers, thank you for your support in this process, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks.
Thank you.